Okay, so let's jump into this problem here. So we're talking about linear equations and how they're tested on the GED test. And so that's the subject of this video. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to look at a GED styled word problem. And when I say that, I'm really talking about words being involved here, text here, and then here having some graphical type of display that you're interacting between the text and the graphical display. So the GED test is really bent upon presenting a certain amount of the questions on the test in this way, because this is one of the ways that they make the test relevant but also increase the level of difficulty. So let's look at first the chart, because anytime you approach one of these types of questions on the GED math test, you really want to understand what the chart is. So you see Kiko's bike rental Facebook ad campaign. So that's what this chart is about. And then the source is his financial statement. So if you look at January and February and March, what it's showing you is the spend and the rentals. So green is the rentals and spend is purple. And that shows you how much Kiko is spending to generate more rentals at his business. So now that we know what this chart is saying, we come down here to this question which says, write the equation that demonstrates the relationship between Facebook ad spend and bike rentals. So we're looking to write an equation. And so I will give you a hint right now that's talking about the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. And really, that's where we're talking about the linear or the constant relationship. So the first thing that we want to identify here before we even jump into this slope-intercept form is we want to look at what's happening. So at January, that's our baseline, and we see that there's 50 rentals, and we see that $350 has been spent. And then we see an increase. Remember, purple is the spend, so we see an increase in spend by $50. And then that brought the rentals up by 25 additional rentals. Now we see an increase in spend by $100, so from $400 to $500. And then that increased 75 to 125 by 50 rentals. So what that is beginning to show us is a relationship of, if he increases his Facebook spend by $50, he will get 25 more rentals. If he increases it by $100, he will get 50 more rentals. And so what we can do and surmise from that is that for every $50, there is going to be an increase of 25 rentals. And so I'm just highlighting that here. So that's the constant. That's the one thing that this relationship is showing here, right? Because we go from here from 500 to 600, that's $100, and then the rentals did go up 50, right? And then from here is 600 to 750. Now he's increased his spend by 150. And so we see here that if there's 150 in spend, then we come back over here and say, how much did his rentals go up? Well, not much of a surprise. His rentals went up by 75 rentals, right? Because again, what we're looking at is every $50 gives us 25 rentals. So in 150, 50, 25, 50 more is 100 is 50, 50 more is 150, and that gives us 75 rentals. So now we can see the relationship very clearly on this chart, that every time Kiko invests an additional $50, he's renting an additional 25 bikes. And so if his bike rentals are anything more than $2 a rental, then he's making money, because $2 a rental would be $50, and that's how much he spent to get it. So assuming his bike rentals are whatever they are, this is probably a very profitable venture, and you can see why Kiko every month is increasing his Facebook ad spend, because each month he's getting more rentals by doing so, and it's by a predictable rate. Now, the next thing we need to come to is our actual question. And so for that, I'm going to ask you to join me in the next video.